wrapped in calm and emotion. Each video is a gentle journey through memories, reflections, or softly imagined tales narrated with warmth and sincerity. Whether you're looking for a voice to ease you into sleep, no loud sounds, no rush, just stories, honest and tender, for those who treasure stillness and depth.
Emily, a light in the darkness. Each of us carries a story within. Some stories bring smiles when recalled, while others leave deep scars, silent wounds invisible to the outside world. This is my story, Emily, a girl forgotten in the darkness by her own family. But from that very darkness, I found light, the light of hope, of life, and above all, the light within myself. My name is Emily. I am 16 years old. My father died when I was only 7. He was gentle, caring, the first to teach me how to read, the one who held me tightly every night and whispered fairy tales into my ears. Every evening when he kissed my forehead, I felt completely safe. But he passed away in a traffic accident. His death took a piece of my soul and changed my mother forever. Less than a year later, my mother remarried. His name was Sam, a man with a calm and polite appearance. But within a few months of living together, I saw his true nature, cold, controlling, and constantly making me feel fearful. I once told my mother that I didn't feel safe around Sam, that I was afraid of him. She just shook her head and dismissed it coldly. "Stop making things up, Emily. He's your father now. Learn to respect him." From then on, I learned to live in silence. Sam never hit me. He was too good at hiding things, but he controlled everything. What I ate, what I wore, even when I could sleep. I wasn't allowed to close my door, to have my own phone, and I had to report every activity of my day. Some nights I saw him standing in my room, silently watching me from the darkness. I held my breath, too scared to move. The next morning, I told my mother. Her eyes filled with doubt as she said coldly, "You're imagining things again. Don't embarrass me." I started locking my door every night, but how could I lock away the fear inside? Friends avoided me because I was always quiet, never smiled, never joined any activities. I felt like a shadow, unseen, unheard. Every morning on the way to school, I asked myself, if I disappeared, would anyone notice? That question haunted me every night, like an echo with no answer. Everything changed when I met Miss Harper, the new school counselor. She didn't force me to speak or ask many questions. She simply said, "Whenever you're ready, I'm here." That one sentence made me cry. For the first time in years, someone was truly listening. I began to open up, bit by bit. Miss Harper made no promises. She just listened patiently and took notes. Not long after, the school officially stepped in. Social workers were brought in to speak with my mother and Sam. Sam was investigated, and eventually, I was removed from that house. I was placed in a youth foster center. There, everyone carried a scar, sometimes on their bodies, sometimes in their hearts. But our pain connected us. No one told me not to cry. No one laughed at my nightmares. For the first time, I felt the warmth of a family. Not because of blood, but because of understanding. I started to draw. Every painting was a part of my soul being free. Fear became a dark monster. Hope a faint light breaking through a narrow door. A volunteer at the shelter, Nora, saw my drawings and said, "Tell your story, Emily. Someone might need to hear it." I didn't think I was strong enough, but I wrote. Not for sympathy, but so no one else would feel as alone as I once did. I wrote everything. About my father, about Sam, about my mother, about the long nights of silence. I shared my story at a support program for abused children. I trembled as I walked on stage. But as I began to speak, the attentive eyes below gave me strength. When I finished, a little girl around 9 approached me, hugged me, and whispered, "I was like you." I held her tightly, and I knew I was no longer invisible. I am still on the path of healing. There are still nights when I dream of Sam's stare, still moments when loud voices make me flinch, but I'm learning to breathe deeply. I'm learning not to blame myself, and most importantly, I'm learning to love myself again. If you're reading this and ever felt not good enough, not worthy of love, remember, you are not weak, you are surviving. And surviving, that is a victory. I was once Emily, the trembling girl in the corner. Now I am Emily, a storyteller, someone who takes the hands of lost children and says, "You are not invisible. You are seen. you are loved.